These series of videos will help you solving system of equations using matrices, which is Algebra 2, Chapter 4, Section 4. So we start off with the system of equations listed on the screen. X plus y equals 1 and x minus 2y equals 4. We can solve this using the methods you learned about in Lesson 1, which were graphing, elimination, and substitution. But this lesson teaches you a fourth way to solve this by using matrices. Before we learn how to solve the system of equation using matrices, let's review how to solve these algebraically. So when I look at this system of equations, I want to go through, and I personally think the easiest method is elimination for this, because if you notice, the coefficients of the x variable are the same, but when we do elimination, we want them to be opposite numbers. So it's easy to make these into opposite numbers. All I have to do is multiply one of the two equations by -1. It doesn't matter which equation you multiply by. I'm just choosing the second one. So our first equation does not change. So I have x plus y equals 1. And then once I multiply the second equation by -1, I get -x plus 2y equals -4. Once I have my two equations and I have opposite coefficients to one of the variables, all I have to do is add the two equations together. So x plus -x is 0. Those cancel out. They eliminate. That's the whole point of elimination, is you want one of the variables to eliminate. And then y plus 2y gives me 3y. And then 1 plus -4 is -3. And then finish solving for y. So to get the y by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 3. And we get y equals -1. So we found the y that makes this system of equations true, but now we need to find the x. In order to find the x, all we have to do is take the y we just found and plug it into one of the two equations. It doesn't matter which equation. I'm going to again choose the first one because it looks a little easier. So wherever I see a y, I'm going to write a -1. So I have x plus -1 equals 1. And again, I'm solving for x. So I need to move the -1 over to the other side of equal. So in order to do that, I'm going to add 1. So my x is 2. But once we have the x and the y, remember the answer to this is an ordered pair where the two lines actually intersect. So we want to write our answer as an ordered pair. X comma y, so the x was 2, and the y -1. So there's my solution to this system of equations. Let's go through and let's check to make sure that we have the right solution. So in order to check if it's the right solution, all we're going to do is we're going to take this solution and plug it back into both equations. So x we know was 2. We just calculated that. And we know y was -1. 2 plus -1 is 1, which is what it states. So it's true for the first equation. But remember, the ordered pair has to be true for both equations. So we plug it into the second equation. X we know is 2. Y we know is -1. And then we simplify. Multiply before you subtract. So 2 times -1 is -2. But then the two negatives become a positive. 2 plus 2 is 4, which is what it says. So again, This we just verified is the correct solution to this system of equations.